Secretary Ben Diokno, Director Bernie Villegas, Chairman Richard Mills, Madam Rebecca Bustamante, friends, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and thank you for providing this platform where we can explain the MAHARLIKA Investment Corporation Bill. I sincerely hope that by the end of this talk, misconceptions are clarified and more people support the MAHARLIKA bill. At the outset, I would like to give context for the MAHARLIKA bill. As I said, after assuming the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives in July, our mission was clear: to help resuscitate the pandemic-battered economy and make economic transformation the engine that would uplift the lives of our people. This is the aspiration that spurs and animates the actions of your House of Representatives in the 19th Congress. From the swift passage of the General Appropriations Act of 2023 to the passage on third and final reading of important messages such as the Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines Act and the Health Emergency Auxiliary Reinforcement Team Act, as well as the MAHARLIKA Investment Bill, the move to amend the restrictive economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution, the welfare of the Filipino people, and the economic development of the country has always been paramount as our consideration. In just over 5 months since the 19th Congress opened, your House of Representatives passed a total of 173 bills for the Senate's consideration. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. articulated the challenge before this administration to reduce poverty levels to single digit. Such an ambitious goal requires resources that the government has precious little of. To raise the needed funds, the government traditionally creates new taxes or increases existing ones or borrows from banks. I suppose everyone will agree that no one wants new or higher taxes. The MAHARLIKA bill, as envisioned in House Bill number 6608, lessens the need for government to go through these traditional modes by creating an alternative system through which funds for national development projects may be generated in an efficient and sustainable manner at that. Under House Bill 6608, a small portion of the investable funds from the Land Bank, the Development Bank of the Philippines, and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas are pooled and placed under the management of the MAHARLIKA Investment Corporation as the initial capital, which shall be the MAHARLIKA Investment Fund. The corporation is authorized to invest the fund in the following: 1. Cash, foreign currencies, metals, and other tradable commodities. 2. Fixed income instruments issued by sovereigns, quasi-sovereigns, and supranationals. 3. Domestic and foreign corporate bonds. 4. Listed or unlisted equities, whether common, preferred, or hybrids. 5. Islamic investments such as the sukuk bonds. 6. Joint ventures or co-investments. 7. Mutual exchange traded funds invested in underlying assets. 8. Commercial real estate and infrastructure projects. 9. Loans and guarantees to or participation into joint venture or consortia with Filipino and foreign investors, whether in the majority or minority position in commercial, industrial, mining, agriculture, housing, energy, and other enterprises, which may be necessary or contributory to the economic development of the country or important to the public interest. Among others, and in simple terms, the MAHARLIKA Investment Corporation is authorized to invest in financial instruments and equities which have guaranteed high rates of returns on investments or ROIs. The investments can be here or abroad. Note that the MAHARLIKA Investment Corporation can only participate in government projects that are approved by the National Economic Development Authority, ensuring that the fund is used for purposes that support the socio-economic development plan of the government. From these ROIs shall come funds that will be used to support government programs that provide subsistence subsidies to poor Filipino families. The Land Bank, the Development Bank of the Philippines, and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas are not the only organizations which can invest in the Maharlika Investment Corporation. Interested private corporations may also invest in the Maharlika Fund. This early, a prominent Japanese business group has already expressed its interest in the fund. As far as the issue of possible misuse and abuse of the fund, let me assure everyone that your House of Representatives is keenly aware of your concern. For this reason, we have seen fit to incorporate adequate safeguards in House Bill number 6608 to ensure that the funds are invested properly. These safeguards are both proactive and punitive. At the proactive side are the following safety checks. 1. The management of the Maharlika Investment Corporation shall be persons of good moral standing and reputation, of recognized probity and independence, with substantial experience and expertise in either corporate governance and administration, investment in financial assets, management of investments in local and global markets. 2. The corporation will have a risk management unit which shall ensure that a prudent balance between risk and reward is maintained in the corporation's investments. 3. The corporation's operational costs shall be limited to 2% of the Maharlika Fund only. 4. The books and accounts of the MIC will be subject to several layers of examination and audit. Aside from the Commission on Audit, the corporation shall be mandated to engage an independent internal auditor under the direct control and supervision of the Board of Directors and an internationally recognized auditing firm to be an external auditor. The audits shall include an assessment of whether investments are in compliance with the Santiago Principles, a set of guidelines designed to promote good governance, accountability, transparency, prudent investment practices, and a stable and open investment climate. Apart from these safeguards, the corporation's operations will also be monitored by the Maharlika Investment Fund Joint Congressional Oversight Committee. 6. House Bill number 6608 also provides that all Maharlika documents will be open to anyone who wishes to review them. These documents include the following: all investments made by the corporation using the Maharlika Investment Fund, statement of assets and liabilities of members and officers of the board, risk management unit, and advisory board. SALN of all government officials who selected the Maharlika Fund managers, and all audit documents from the internal auditor, external auditor, and the COA. If these proactive provisions are not enough, House Bill number 6608 also provides heavy penal provisions and criminal sanctions to hold accountable and punish any director, trustee, or corporate officer who is proven to have abused the management of the Maharlika Investment Fund. Any erring official of the Maharlika Investment Corporation can be charged with malversation or plunder, the latter being a non-bailable offense depending on the amount embezzled. In recent months, I have come to see, with our push for the Maharlika and the amendment of the restrictive economic provisions of the constitutions, among others, that the House of Representatives has become one of the primary drivers of the important conversation on national development. It is a responsibility that we cannot and will not shirk from, even at the cost of precious political capital. We remain committed to our mission's objectives. At stake is nothing less than the long-term welfare and development prospects of our countrymen. It may also be prudent to note that the Maharlika Fund is not a new idea. Countries all around the world have resorted to it as another of their developmental strategies. Some have been successful, a few have not. Instead of dwelling on the failures, we at the House of Representatives choose to focus on what is possible, incorporating the lessons learned from the practice of the other nationals to reduce the risk of failure and optimize the probability of success. To criticize and to find fault is easy. Proposing creative and alternative solutions to the country's development challenge is much more difficult. We at the House of Representatives do not claim a monopoly to development. If there is anyone who has more creative ideas on how to support national development, by all means, make them known. The House of Representatives is more than happy and willing to receive these ideas so that these may be refined and be fine-tuned over the course of the legislative process. I am confident in every Filipino's innate ability to find practical solutions to many of our problems. Let us work together towards a brighter future for the Philippines. With unity of spirit, there is truly nothing we cannot succeed in. Thank you and good morning to all. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay tayo lahat.